Who's got the rocket launcher? I say we blow it up. Now fire that thing.
It's for the city of sports, playing with a giant Nick. With my man S. Dot Guard.
That's him.
You feel the vibe?
That's me.
We going live.
That's us.
That like button shared, you been subscribed.
Stadium.
That MetLife Big Blue, home of the Braves.
Yeah.
That turnpike, you can see that's where the game's played. NFL one day, then it's the NBA. Madison Square Garden, that's where the Knicks play. This that NY Logan, North don't get broken. Legalized mean this shit smoking. I'm on topic, dropping another episode. The game winner, trade, maybe a field goal. Everybody right now doing the wave. You tuned in, the show called The Man Cave. I see the chat, they always doing their thing. Big views, 85-inch screen. The game's on, you rush and bleed. Remain calm, you on the road and chill. To the watch along, the show's on. The host, you know it's S-God. It's no telling, the panel filled with guest stars. You now rocking with the voice, you know what it is. It's your boy J Boogie. You now rocking with my man S-God. I support him to the fullest, you heard? My man Mike Blaze. This is Alter Production. What that mean? We about to alter everything that's playing. Tune in. My man S.God. Support the show. Subscribe, share it. Most importantly, hit that like button.
What's good? What's good? Salute to the Royal Blue Skies. Salute to the Duke Nation. You already know what it is, man. Tonight, man, is March Madness. Tonight from Capital One Arena in Washington, D.C., it's the Duke Blue Devils versus the St. John's Red Storms, man, in this East region game, man. March Madness ready to kick off, man. Duke versus St. John's, epic classic battle. I used to remember a lot of them battles from back in the 90s and stuff like that with Elton Brand, Shane Battier against Ron Artest, Eric Barkley, and all those guys, man. Great rivalry, man. I'm glad it's back, man. Yay. Duke versus St. John's, man. I couldn't wait for this one, man. The winner of this game gets to meet the winner of UConn and Michigan State for the Elite Eight on Sunday. Like I said, we'll see who's going to advance from tonight, man. But hopefully, like I said, it'll be the Blue Devils of Duke against the St. John's Red Storms. I know going to be a lot of St. John's fans in here, the Johnnies and stuff like that. I'm actually happy for the Johnnies. Like I said, that's the home team. St. John's, Syracuse, that's the home team and stuff like that. I'm always pulling for them. Just except when they play Duke, you know what I'm saying? So I got to go for the Blue Devils tonight, but still pulling for the Johnnies as well, too, like I said. And they're led by their legendary Hall of Fame coach, Rick Pitino, one of the great coaches of all time, man. I'm really happy for Rick Pitino. Coached a lot of great teams, Louisville, Kentucky, Duke, and the Knicks. He was a Knicks head coach back in the 80s when he had that, the squad, forgot the squad, man, with the Johnny Newman and those guys, man, the bomb squad and all that type of stuff. Patrick Ewing, Gerald Wilkins, them young guns, the ones that upset the Boston Celtics and stuff like that, man. So he brought that pressing and all that type of stuff, but not so much no more. Don't bring the pressing no more physicality with Rick Pitino now in St. John's. So it should be a physical game tonight. So it'll be Cameron Boozer against Zuby Ejiofor tonight, man. Should be a great matchup, man. We'll see. Also, Duke may be getting back Caleb Foster, who broke a bone in his foot probably about 3 weeks ago or a month ago, but they say he might be ready to play tonight, so we will see, man. Hopefully, like I said, he'll give it a go. If not, hey, we'll be ready to go, man. So it should be a great game, man. So we're about to tip off in a few minutes here. Duke and St. John's, the winner of this game, advanced to the Elite Eight on Sunday against the winner of UConn and Michigan State. So, hey, ready for this game, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the chat. What's up? The soldiers already at Dewani. What's good? He said, let's go Red Storms. Yeah, I remember when they were the Redmonds back in the day, the St. John's Redmonds. That was a Walter Berry, Chris Mullen, and those guys and all that type of stuff, man. So, hey, now they're the Red Storm and stuff like that. So, hey, it's all good, man. But like I said, St. John's is always that's the local, that's the home team and stuff like that. But today I got to go with the favorite. I got to go with Dukies, man. My Duke tonight. Should be a great game, man. Whoever wins, like the better team will win tonight and stuff like that. I'm all for it, man. Ready to call a great college basketball game. March Madness, NCAA March Madness. Some other games going on. Other than last night, Purdue gets by Texas last night, man. Blew out Arkansas got blown out by Arizona 109-88 last night. And also Houston, man, I'm surprised they went down to defeat last night against Illinois. Illinois is a good team too, so not much of a big surprise. But like I said, Houston is one of those tough teams with Kelvin Sampson as the coach, man. So it should be a great one tonight, man. Like I said, St. John's and Duke, who's going to prevail? We will see, man. About to tip off right now in a few minutes. Let's go Duke. And as always, let's go Duke. And I know the St. John's, the Red Storms are in the building and stuff like that. So, hey, we'll see how it goes, man. We'll see what the starting lineups will be for the Red Storm. I know it's going to be Zuby, Ejiofor, Dylan Darling or something like that. So we will see what the starting line is about to get the starting line to get the tip off and stuff like that. Favorite Duke player of all time is two, Johnny Dawkins and Grant Hill. Grant Hill to me is the greatest Duke basketball player. All right, starting lineup: Dylan Darling, Oziah Sellers, Bryce Hopkins, Dylan Mitchell, and Zuby Ejiofor against Boozer, Malik Brown, Dame Sarr, Isaiah Evans, and Caden Boozer will start. So I guess I don't know if Caleb Foster might still not be ready for this game, or he might come off the bench. All right, about to tip off. But yeah, Grant Hill's my favorite. If that's like the favorite player of all time is Grant Hill. And the reason for Grant Hill, I think he single-handedly changed the perception of basketball, man. So you know how it is.
New plan.
And the tip is up, and it's won by the Johnnies. Darling with the ball across the timeline over to Mitchell. With the ball over to Hopkins. Hopkins with the ball over to Sellers. Sellers to Ejiofor in the paint. Ejiofor over to Hopkins. He almost loses the ball. Back to Ejiofor. Deep three-point shot is up and no good. Rebounded by Isaiah Evans, and here comes Duke. Over to Caden Boozer with the ball across the timeline. Boozer over to his brother Cam. Cam with the ball over to Malik Brown at the top of the key. Over to Caden Boozer now at the elbow. Caden over to Isaiah Evans at the top of the key. Over to Malik Brown. Brown still at the top key. I thought he was going to get Dominic, so he's going to cut over to Isaiah Evans. Isaiah trying to get a shot in the lane. Evans' shot is up and good. So Isaiah Evans and Duke draws first blood 2-0. St. John's with the ball ahead to Darling. Over to the Dylan Mitchell. Mitchell with the ball. Over to Darling again. Darling in the paint to Dylan Mitchell. His shot is up and good, and we're tied at 2. All right, Boozer inbounds to Isaiah Evans. It looked like St. John's is trying to pick up Duke full court. Caden Boozer with the ball across the timeline, guarded by Darling. Boozer with the ball at the top of the key over to Malik Brown. Brown with the ball at the top. Down low to Cam Boozer. And his shot is up and good. 4-2 Duke. All right, St. John's quickly inbounds to Darling. Darling with the ball around the Ejiofor screen. Now to Ejiofor. Ejiofor in the paint. Down low to Mitchell. Shot is up. Good. And we're tied at 4. All right, Duke looking to inbounds Boozer to his brother Caden. Caden with the ball into the front court. Caden down the lane. Caden shot is up. No good. Dame Sarr gets the ball out to Malik Brown for his three-point shot is up, in and out. Rebounded by Mitchell, and here comes the Johnnies. Mitchell with the ball. Mitchell down the lane. Shot is up. No good. And it'll be Duke ball. Said big task at hand. What's good? Salute, brother. He said, I'm here to hate on the Johnnies. Yeah. Let's go. This is gonna be a great game, man. This will be St. John's against Duke, man. I'm just glad this is a great, rivalry game from the past and stuff like that they're able to play this game. All right, Duke with the ball. Boozer with the ball ahead to Malik Brown. Back to Boozer. Over to Dame Sarr at the elbow. Down to Malik Brown in the post. Brown back to Caden Boozer. Boozer in the paint. Boozer shot is up and good. Duke goes back. So this is like a seesaw game 6 order. The Johnnies quickly ahead to Hopkins, and he loses the ball. It'll be Duke ball. Yeah, happy Friday, March Madness. Like I said, the winner of this game will go on to the Elite 8 to take on the winner of UConn and Michigan State, who's also playing today as well. Also, Tennessee plays Iowa State. And then the other barn burner is going to be Alabama against Michigan. All right, Duke inbounds, Boozer with the ball, guarded by Darling into the front court. Around a Brown screen, Boozer in the lane, and he is fouled by Darling. So Duke will have a side out. Absolute happy Friday. Happy Friday to all, man. Great weekend of sports, man. College basketball, NBA basketball, man. March Madness for men's and women's. I think LSU playing Duke and women's today. South Carolina play tomorrow. UCLA women play tonight. They play Minnesota. All right, Duke inbounds to Cam Boozer. Out to Dame Sarr, over to Isaiah Evans in the corner to Caden Boozer. Back to Evans. Evans thought about it, over to Malik Brown. And the ball is stolen by St. John's. Look like Ian Jackson has it. Over to Darling. Darling with the ball. Over to Mitchell. Mitchell back to Ejiofor. Ejiofor to Darling. Darling at the top of the key. Over to Ian Jackson. And it's stolen by Malik Brown to Dame Sarr. And here comes the Duke. Dame ahead to Isaiah Evans. Pull up 3-point shot is up. No good. Rebounded by Brown. Put back up and good. 8-4 Duke. All right, St. John's inbounds to Mitchell. Mitchell with the ball. Guarded by Sarr. Over to Darling. Darling back to Mitchell. Over to Ejiofor. Ejiofor with the ball at the top of the key. Over to Darling. Darling. And in a corner, looked like to Hopkins. Hopkins to Ejiofor. Ejiofor thought about it. Now a pull up for the 3-point shot is up. No good. Rebounded by Evans. Here comes Duke ahead to Boozer. Caden Boozer into the front court. Guarded by Darling at the logo. Over to Malik Brown. Brown at the top of the key. Trying to find somebody. Finds Caden Boozer. Who's trying to find his brother Cam Boozer down in the post now. Guarded by Hopkins. Back to Caden Boozer. His 3-point shot is good. 11-4 Duke. So some good shooting, good early shooting by Duke. All right, St. John's with the ball now. Darling with the ball into the front court. Over to Mitchell. Mitchell over to Ian Jackson. Back to Mitchell. Now to Hopkins. Hopkins with the ball looking for Ejiofor. Over to Darling. Darling, a pull-up 3-point shot is up and good. 11-7. All right. Duke trying to inbound. And the pass is stolen out of bounds. And St. John's getting his 11-9. Not a good pass by Duke, man. Not a good pass. All right. And Duke looked like having a problem inbounding the ball. So it looked like there's a timeout on the floor. Score Duke 11, St. John's 9. So early good action, man. Like I said, early Duke and St. John's renewing the rivalry from the past, man. Rick Pitino, legendary head coach Rick Pitino. So St. John's with making it hard for Duke to get the inbounds pass. Duke got, like I said, they got to get to the ball, man. Got to get the inbound pass in. It's the easiest play to get in, man. See, like I said, some other games today. Like 3 other games today. March Madness, man. It's Duke is the first game, and then the second game will be Alabama and Michigan. That game is 7:30. That game should be starting in about 15 minutes. Then in the late games, 9:45, going to be Michigan State and UConn. And then the last game is Tennessee and Iowa State. All right, so timeout by Duke. Let's see what Duke's going to do in the timeout. See, like I said, first thing, got to inbound the ball. That's the biggest problem right now, inbounding the ball. St. John's will play defense. They will play at 94 feet. All right, we'll see if St. John's will have some substitutions in the game. When I say Jackson, now that was Ian Sellers. That was Aya Sellers. Just on Saint. So that's Saint with number 3. All right, let's see who's coming in for Duke after the timeout. Look like Nicholas Kamenia will be in, and looks like Caleb Foster will be. Caleb Foster making his return after being out for about 3 weeks to a month, man. All right, Duke set the inbounds. Look like they're bringing some guards. All right, Duke looking. Boozer with the ball into Caleb Foster. Foster with the ball. Guarded by Sellers. Foster into the front court. And also Patrick Gungba has checked into the game over to Gungba now at the top of the key. Gungba over to Foster. Throws an alley-oop and dunked by Patrick Gungba. Good play by Caleb Foster. All right, Johnny's have the ball now. So Sellers over to Hopkins. And he gets in, and Hopkins gets all the way to the basket and scores 13-11. All right, Duke inbounds to Caden Boozer. Boozer with the ball into the front court. Boozer all the way, shot is up, and looked like Gungba got fouled. So, yeah, Patrick Gungba got fouled. So, Caden Boozer looking for Gungba. It's good, Matt. Salute. All right, so Gungba be at the free throw line. Like I said, hopefully he can make both of these free throws. Basically, and his first free throw is an air ball. Wow, he was real tight on that, man. He threw up an air ball. And Gungba's actually a good free throw shooter. And his second free throw is in and out, no good. So both missed free throws. All right. St. John's with the ball. Mitchell with the ball over to Ejiofor. Ejiofor with the ball. Over to Jackson. His three-point shot is good, and St. John's take the lead 14-13. And Duke inbounds to Foster. Foster with the ball. Foster into the front court. Foster trying to find somebody at the logo over to Gungba. Gungba at the top of the key over to Kamenia. Kamenia with the ball. Finds Cam Boozer at the box. Boozer in the paint. Shot is up and no good. Rebounded by St. John's, and here comes the storm. Throws ahead to Ejiofor. And he gets fouled by Caden Boozer, so Ejiofor will be at the free throw line. So Ejiofor will be at the free throw line. Let me see. St. John's about to make a substitution in the game. Ejiofor's first free throw is up and good. 15-13 St. John's. So who's checking in? Ruben Prey will check into the game for Mitchell. All right. Ejiofor's second free throw is up, and it's good also. So 16-13 St. John's. Duke inbounds over to Caleb Foster. Foster with the ball. Foster into the front court. Guarded by Jackson. Foster at the elbow now. And Isaiah almost loses Isaiah Evans with the ball. Evans in the lane. Evans shot off the glass is good. 16-15. All right. St. John's inbounds to Jackson. Jackson with the ball into the front court. Jackson over to Prey. Prey with the ball over to Hopkins. Hopkins over to Ejiofor. Ejiofor with the ball over to Jackson. Jackson to Prey. His 3-point shot is up and good. 19-15. All right, Kamenia looking at inbounds. Inbounds to Boozer. Boozer with the ball guarded by Prey. 4-point St. John's lead with 12 minutes left to go in the first half. Boozer with the ball into the front court. Down the lane. Boozer. Shot is up and turnover, but it'll be Duke ball. Looking for Gungba, and it looks like ball's knocked out of Duke's ball after the timeout. So 4-point St. John's lead. So Duke got off to the early start, 11-4, but St. John's have come back and taken a 19-15 lead. We see other scores around the NBA. Right now, Clippers and the Pacers, 4:23 left to go in the first quarter. Pacers up 28-14. Also, game starting at 7:30. Atlanta at Boston. Miami at Cleveland at 7:30. 2 8 o'clock games. Houston at Memphis. Chicago at Oklahoma City. 8:30 game. New Orleans at Toronto. 9 o'clock game. Utah at Denver. 10 o'clock game. Washington at Golden State. Dallas at Portland. And then the late game of the night. Brooklyn Nets at the LA Lakers. So, big night in the NBA tonight, but tonight it's all about March Madness. College basketball gets center stage tonight. Duke versus St. John's. You got Alabama versus Michigan, UConn versus Michigan State, and then Tennessee versus Iowa State. The winners of each game will get to the Elite Eight. Like I said, the winner of this game, Duke and St. John's, will meet the winner of UConn and Michigan State. All right, so like I said, the Johnnies weather the storm. So 4-point Johnnies lead. Thank everybody for tapping this live stream. March Madness, Duke versus St. John's. If this is your first time to the Man Cave podcast, as well as the Aboriginal Sports Network, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, man. It costs you nothing. It is totally free. Also, if you're following on X, formerly Twitter, all you got to do is hit the follow button for the Escott Media Man Cave podcast, as well as the Aboriginal Sports Network. It costs you nothing. It is totally free. All right, back to action. Johnny's will be Duke will inbound. Duke will be inbound. Like I said, let's see what they come out after the timeout. Yeah, on that play, like I said, it looked like Boozer trying to find Gungwa, but St. John's read it and deflected it. They are active. They are an active team on defense, so. Should be good defense in this game. We'll see what they come out with. It looked like Caleb Foster will come back out. I'm surprised he even playing, man, with a broken bone. So that was, like I said, a month or three weeks ago. All right, Kamenya set the inbounds, side out, inbounds, and the pass is stolen by St. John's. And Hopkins looked like he's fouled, and he'll be going to the free throw line. I don't know what Kamenya is looking at. He was open. You got to give the ball to the open person. You can't. because Gungbo was open. Well, I mean, Foster was open at first. All right, so Hopkins at the free throw line. All right, Hopkins' first free throw is up, and it's no good. And look like Mitchell will check back in for Ejiofor. All right, Hopkins' second free throw is up, and that's good. 20-15, St. John's. All right, Duke set the inbounds. Kamenia set the inbounds. Throws to Cameron Boozer, and Boozer into the front court. Boozer down the lane, lays it up. No good rebound by Gungbo. Looked like he got fouled. But St. John's has the ball into the front court. Jackson into the front court. Over to Mitchell. Mitchell back to Jackson. His shot is up. No good. And Kamenia get the ball. And Kamenia into the front court. Over to Caleb Foster. Foster at the top of the key. Guarded by Mitchell. Over to Evans. Evans over to Boozer. Ahead to Isaiah Evans for his three-point shot is up. And no good. Rebounded by St. John's. And here comes the Johnnies. Mitchell with the ball into the front court. Over to Jackson. Jackson over to Hopkins. Hopkins almost loses it. Over to Prey. Back to center. His shot is up. No good. Rebounded by Prey, and he is fouled by Gungba. So Prey got in there, getting that rebound, got fouled. All right, so the Johnnies will inbound, and looks like some substitution for Duke. Look like Dame Sarr and Caden Booth and Malik Brown will check back into the game for Duke. And his shot for three-point shot is up. No good. Rebounded by St. John's. They get the rebound. Shot is up. No good. And St. John's is getting the ball down. Duke gets the ball. Caden Boozer with the ball into the front court. Boozer over to Malik Brown. Brown over to Isaiah Evans. Guarded by Prey. Evans looking. And it's stolen by St. John's. You got to get a better pass than that, man. Over to Ejiofor. And blocked from behind by Malik Brown. And St. John's deflected again. So 10 minutes, 11 seconds left to go in the first half. Duke down to St. John's 20-15. All right, so Duke will inbounds. Let's see, like I said, Duke has not scored in the last probably 4 minutes of this game. All right, Dame Sarr looking at inbounds to Boozer. Boozer with the ball into the front court, guarded by Darling. Over to Cam Boozer. Boozer. And there's a foul on the floor on St. John's. So Duke will inbounds again. All right. All right. Ball is inbound. Boozer inbounds to Evans. Evans with the ball. Evans in the lane. Shot is up and good. 20-17. St. John's quickly inbounds. Darling with the ball into the front court. Over to Hopkins. His three-point shot is up and good. 23-17. 6 points. St. John's lead. Duke inbounds to Boozer. Caden Boozer into the front court, guarded by Darling. Over to Cam. Cam with the ball over to Malik Brown at the elbow. Brown looking and finds Boozer. Shot is up off the glass, no good, but put back in by Malik Brown, 23-19. All right, St. John's quickly inbounds. Darling with the ball at the top of the key, guarded by Boozer. Shot is up, no good, rebounded by Sarr. Here comes Duke. Sarr out to Isaiah Evans. Fakes Isaiah down the lane, and he dunks it, 23-21. All right, St. John's inbounds. Mitchell inbounds to Darling. Darling into the front court. Over to Mitchell. Mitchell guarded by Sarr. Over to Hopkins at the elbow. Over to Ejiofor, and the ball is deflected out. It will be St. John's ball. All right, so the Johnnies will inbound up 2. All right, inbounds. Mitchell inbounds over to Hopkins, over to Sellers. And Ejiofor with the ball at the top of the key, guarded by Brown. Over to Jackson. Jackson. Over to Mitchell in the corner, and he travels. So it'll be Duke ball. Or it's a shot clock violation. Shot clock violation. All right, so far Duke with 4 turnovers, St. John's with 3 turnovers in the game. 8:27 left to go in the first half. 3 points, 2 points St. John's lead. Duke, Dame Sarr inbounds to Caden Boozer. Boozer guarded by Hopkins. Boozer into the front court. Boozer down the lane off the glass and misses the layup, but gets it back over to Dame Sarr, who dunks it in, and we're tied at 23. Caden got to get that stuff off the glass. You got to put that stuff in, man. Can't be missing that. We're tied at 23. All right, St. John's with the ball. Jackson over to Mitchell. Mitchell with the ball over to Hopkins. Hopkins over to Ejiofor at the top of the key, guarded by Brown. Over to Mitchell. His 3-point shot is up and good. And the Johnnies go back up by 3, 26-23. Duke inbounds to Boozer. Boozer with the ball. Into the front court, guarded by Jackson. Over to Isaiah Evans. Evans to Kamenia, and he is fouled. So timeout on the floor with the score: St. John's 26, Duke 23. So far, a great game, man. So far, number 5 seed St. John's against top overall seed Duke, leading 26-23. 7:33 left to go in the first half. March Madness Sweet 16 game from Capital One Arena in Washington, D.C. The winner of this game go on to the Elite Eight to meet the winner of UConn and Michigan State in the East region. So far, man, great game. Like I said, St. John's with getting a lot of pressure, inbounds, steals, deflections. Yeah, man. Like I said, so far, a great game, man. The Johnnies, March Madness is always, like I said, it's always fun, man. March Madness, man. Let me see the scores from yesterday in the games. Like I said, games yesterday, Purdue beats Texas 79-77. I think I watched that alone on a tipping at the end. Did the Texas Longhorns lost that game. Also, Iowa with a surprising win over Nebraska. I mean, they both in the Big Ten, so that was like they know each other. But Iowa comes out on top against Nebraska. And like I said, the game Illinois is beaten the higher seed Houston. I thought Houston was going to win that game, but Illinois had control of that game throughout, and they won by 10, 65-55. And then the other one, the race, the shootout was Arizona beating Arkansas 109-88. Like I said, it should be another track meet today with Alabama and Michigan. That should be another. That should be a track meet today, and that game is actually about to start. Yeah, man. This is a great, great game, man. Like I said, Red Storms against the Blue Devils. Like I said, the times I remember playing them was, like I said, when they had LeVar Postel and Eric Barkley and Ron Artest against Elton Brand, Shane Battier, and those guys. William Avery. Yeah, I know Dylan Mitchell. He don't shoot good, but he made a 3-point shot for St. John's. That's a good sign for the Johnnies. Points in the paint. Duke with 18. St. John's with 8. All right, Duke set the inbounds. Dame Sarr will inbound the ball. Sarr inbounds to Malik Brown. Brown with the ball at the top of the key. Brown throws to Kamenia. Shot is up, and he misses it. Kamenia got to play much stronger down there in the post, bro. You got to play much stronger. So Kamenia be at the free throw line, and he makes the first free throw. All right, so substitution will be I think is Prey gonna be back? And yeah, Prey's back in, and Kamenia makes both free throws. All right, and Boozer looked like he'll check in for Kamenia, so Cameron Boozer will check back into the game. All right, 1 point St. John's lead, 26-25. Jackson with the ball over to Prey. Prey with the ball over to Sellers. Sellers with the ball back to Jackson. His shot is up. No good. Rebounded by Boozer, and here comes Duke. Boozer to Caden Boozer into the front court. Oh, back to Cam Boozer. Boozer with the ball looking. Finds Isaiah Evans. Evans at the top of the key. Down to Cam Boozer. Boozer. And it's traveling. So it'll be St. John's ball. Yeah, move your pivot, man. All right. Storms with the ball now. Sellers with the ball at the top of the key. Over to Ejiofor. Ejiofor with the ball. Over to Mitchell. Mitchell at the elbow. Guarded by Dame Sarr. Looking, finds Ejiofor at the top of the key. Finds Prey at the elbow. Over to Sellers. And Sellers' shot is up. No good. Rebounded by Malik Brown. Ahead to Caden Boozer. Here comes Duke. Down 1. Boozer down the lane, shot off the glass and in, and Duke goes back up 27-26. All right, Johnny's with the ball now. Quickly ahead to Mitchell, guarded by Sarr. Over to Prey at the top of the key. Over to Mitchell. Mitchell to Sellers, down to Ejiofor. Ejiofor over to Jackson. Over to Mitchell. Mitchell down low to Ejiofor, guarded by Brown. Shot is up, no good. And it'll be St. John's ball. Like I said, let's go Duke. Let's go Blue Devils. Got to get to the Elite Eight, man. Got to get to the Elite Eight. All right, St. John's inbounds. Mitchell looking. Finds Ejiofor. And ball's deflect out, so it'll be St. John's ball. Man, great game. 26-27. Couldn't ask for nothing better, man. Great competition. Duke versus St. John's. And look like Darling is going to check back into the game for the Reds Storms. All right, Mitchell set the inbounds. Mitchell inbounds to Sellers. And ball, and Duke has the ball blocked. Caden Boozer with the ball. Boozer out to Isaiah Evans. 3-point shot is up and good. And Duke goes up 30-26. Seller and Darling with the ball into the front court for the Johnnies. Over to Mitchell. Mitchell with the ball. Over to Ejiofor at the elbow. Ejiofor with the ball. Over to Darling, and he is fouled by Caden Boozer. Can't grab him by the neck, Boozer. You can't grab him by the neck. All right, so Johnny's ball, ready to set the inbounds. Mitchell with the ball over to Ejiofor at the top of the key. Ejiofor with the ball over to Jackson. Jackson in the corner to Mitchell. Mitchell down low to Ejiofor, guarded by Brown. Shot is up and good. 30-28, 2-point Duke lead. Duke set the inbounds. Brown with the ball over to Foster. Foster with the ball into the front court, guarded by Darling. Over to Cameron Boozer. Boozer with the ball. Boozer in the corner. Dame, sorry, you got to be ready to shoot that ball. I don't know why he keeps faking Boozer in the paint. Shot is up, good, and a foul. But Dame, you got to be ready to shoot that ball, man. You can't be faking it. You got to be ready to shoot that ball. You open, you got to shoot. If you're gonna be hesitating to shot, you can put your ass on the bench, bro. We need guys that's gonna shoot that ball. You gotta be ready to shoot the ball. Can't be afraid of the moment. You gotta score. You gotta shoot. So Boozer be at the free throw line for the and one. So Boozer at the line, 4:43 left to go to complete the 3-point play, and his free throw is up, and it's good. 33-28. All right, St. John's with the ball. Darling with the ball into the front court. Down low to Ejiofor. Ejiofor guarded by Gungba. Throws in the corner to Sainin. His shot is up, no good. Rebounded by Caleb Foster ahead to Cameron Boozer, and here comes the Blue Devils. Cam down the lane. Shot is up, no good, but he is fouled by Prey. Good take by Cameron Boozer. So back at the line, Boozer will be back at the free throw line for 2. All right, his first free throw is up, and it's good. 34-28. So Cam Boozer is the only freshman and sophomore with a 2010-4 season since 1976-77. Larry Bird. 20 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, 2010-4. All right. Boozer's next free throw is up, and it's good. 35-28. Duke with a 7-point lead. All right, Darling with the ball into the front court, guarded by Sarr. Over to the Sainin, back to Ejiofor. And I don't know, Isaiah Evans is fouling Isaiah Sellers, but Sellers ain't really doing too much. You ain't got to foul him, man. Just play defense with your feet, not with your hands. All right, Sainin inbounds to Darling. Darling over to Ejiofor. Ejiofor back to Darling. Darling with the ball. Over to and it's stolen by Gungba. Gungba with the steal over to Caleb Foster. Foster with the ball into the front court to Cam Boozer. Boozer guarded by Prey. Boozer Over to Foster, to Isaiah Evans. Evans, shot is up, no good. Rebounded by Dame Sarr. Sarr with the ball. Over to Caleb Foster. Foster guarded by Darling with 8 seconds. Foster in the lane. Foster's shot is up, no good. And the foul is on Gungba, so Prey will be at the free throw line. And this, I don't know, what is this phenomenon? These dudes locking arms and elbow. Is this like, I don't know who came up with this, but you're starting to see this a lot. Guys are just locking their arms for no reason. It's like, you're going to get yourself hurt. You're going to get a lot of shoulder separation is going to start happening. It's like, bro, just play basketball. Stop locking arms and stop going underneath for advantages and this and that. It's like, yo, just be a man and play the game of strong. You don't have to do locking arms and doing all that stupid stuff. Like I see, I know it's Karl Anthony Towns does a lot for the Knicks. It's like, bro, stop with the locking arms, elbow, shoulder, whatever you're doing, man. It's just play the damn game of basketball. So under 3-minute timeout. When they come back, St. John's will be at the free throw line, and Prey will be at the free throw line. So, like I said, the other March Madness game is should be starting right now. And look, well, they just getting underway. Alabama and Michigan just about to get underway in that game. Let me see the women's March Madness. Notre Dame outlasts Vandy 67-64. Connecticut beats UNC 63-42, and UCLA is playing right now against Minnesota. 6-4 is the score. And then the 10 o'clock game, Duke women's and LSU women tonight at 10 o'clock. I want to thank everybody for tapping this live stream. March Madness, Duke versus St. John's. All them Johnny's fans, I know you're up in here, man. Make sure you leave your comment and say what's on your mind, man. Yeah, I know you got to be very happy, excited for your team. The St. John's Red Storms, coached by legendary Hall of Fame coach Rick Pitino. The Johnnies bringing them back to life since was that Mike Jarvis? I remember Mike Jarvis was the coach of Ron Artest and those guys. Yeah, breathing some new life back into the Johnnies. All right, so back to action. Prey will be at the free throw line for 2. I said Duke just like, hey man, just go to the basket, go live in the paint, man. All right, so Prey will be at the free throw. Oh, no, it looked like it's inbounding. All right, so inbounds to Darling. Darling with the ball, guarded by Sarr at the top of the key. Over to Ejiofor, over to Shannon. Shannon with the ball at the top of the key, finds Darling at the elbow. Now finds Ejiofor at the top of the key. Ejiofor over to Shannon. Shannon at the top of the key. The Darling wide open 3-point shot is up and good. Don't know who fell asleep on that assignment, but you can't miss that assignment. You can't leave nobody wide open. All right, Duke inbounds to Foster. Foster with the ball, guarded by Darling. Foster over to Cameron Boozer, guarded by Prey. Boozer with the ball. Finds Malik Brown, over to Foster. Foster at the elbow now. Over to Isaiah Evans, guarded by Sellers. Over to Sarr. Shot clock runner Sarr at the top of the key. Sarr in the lane. Shot is up, no good. But Malik Brown, and he's fouled. So Malik Brown will be at the free throw line. on the rebound. And it looked like Sarr got fouled. He got pushed up and pushed, but hey, they letting him play, man. They letting the physicality play. So hey, let him play. So Malik Brown will be at the free throw line for two. 2:24 left to go in the first half. Duke with a 4-point lead, 35-31. Brown's first free throw is good. And looks like Caden Boozer and Nicholas Kamenia would check back into the game for Duke. So Foster, just saying Foster just being back, man, after the broken bone in his foot. All right. Brown's second free throw is up. And it's also good, 37-31. All right. St. John's inbounds. Prey inbounds to Darling. Darling into the front court, guarded by Boozer. Back to Prey. Prey with the ball. Over to Sellers. Sellers with the ball over to Darling. Around the Ejiofor screen. Now down to Ejiofor. Wide open 3-point shot is up and good. 37-34. You can't just leave these guys open. You got to get out there. All right. Duke with the ball. Kamenia with the ball. Inbound, trying to find somebody. Those ahead to Boozer. Boozer with the ball. Boozer. And he is fouled by Ejiofor. So Boozer be at the free throw line, but his guys got to stop. You got to get out there to your guys. You got to get back to your guys. You can't just stop playing and then watch them shoot the ball. All right, so Boozer's first free throw is up and is good. 38-34. All right. And Boozer's second free throw is no good, but it's looked like a lane violation, so they'll shoot another free throw. All right, so Boozer get another free throw opportunity, and the free throw is up, and it's good. 39-34, 5-point Duke lead. And it looked like some substitutions. Looked like Dami Sarr would check back into the game for Duke. All right, St. John's inbounds into the front court. Sellers into the front court to Ejiofor, over to Darling. Darling with the ball, looking, finds Prey. Prey with the ball. Over to Leopoldus. His 3-point shot is up, no good. And it'll be Duke ball. So, and it looked like in the other game, Alabama getting out to a quick start, up 11-2 over Michigan right now. All right, Duke inbounds Kamenia, inbounds to Boozer. Boozer with the ball, guarded by Darling, into the front court. Boozer's looking, finds his brother Cam. Cam at the top of the key. Now guarded by Darling. And Boozer, like Ejiofor, Kamenia's 3-point shot is up and no good, and rebounded by St. John's. Caden got to get that rebound, man. You can't let the ball just go off your hands. You got to get the ball. Ejiofor with the ball at the top of the key. In the corner to Prey. His 3-point shot is good. 39-37. Timeout Duke with 50 seconds left to go in the first half. And I know he's calling a timeout. These guys are leaving guys way too open. You got to get out there. You got to get it. You got to be right by your guy. You can't. I don't know what you're looking at. It's like. So it'll be Duke ball after the timeout when they get back. So I'll see what Duke calls after the timeout when they get out of the timeout. All right. Let me see that other score. Let me see. Yeah, like I said, Alabama up 11-4 over Michigan right now, but 15:30 left to go early first quarter. Look like Michigan is sleepwalking right now. But like I said, anytime you play Alabama, that's going to be a up and down game with Alabama. Alabama looks to run. All right, look at the stats. And both teams got 5 turnovers in this game, but Duke had 22 points in the paint to 10 for St. John's. Leading scorer Isaiah Evans with 11 and Mitchell with 9 points. All right, back to action. It'll be Duke ball with 50 seconds left to go right before the half. And Duke set the inbounds. Boozer to Caden Boozer, guarded by Darling. Boozer with the ball into the front court. Over to Cameron Boozer. And looked like he tried to throw it off to Malik Brown, but it was deflected out by Prey. All right, so Duke will inbounds. Over to Isaiah Evans. His 3-point shot is up. No good. Rebounded by St. John's, and here comes the Storm. 33 seconds left to go. Over to Jackson. Jackson with the ball. Over to Sellers. Sellers at the top of the key. Over to Ejiofor. Ejiofor. Over to Jackson. Jackson with the ball. Over to Prey. He left wide open again, and he knocks down a 3, and St. John's take the lead 40-39. All right. Duke inbounds the ball. Boozer with the ball. Shot is up, no good, and that is it. So at half, St. John's with the halftime lead, 40-39 over Duke. We'll be back with the halftime stats after a word from the Man Cave.
Who's got the rocket launcher? I say we blow it up. Now fire that thing.
It's for the city of sports, playing with a giant Nick. With my man S. God. That's him. You feel the vibe?
That's me.
We going live.
That's us.
That like button shared, you been subscribed.
Stadium.
That MetLife, Big Blue, home of the Braves.
Yeah.
That turnpike, you can see that's where the game's played. NFL one day, then it's the NBA. Madison Square Garden, that's where the Knicks play. This that NY Logan, North don't get broken. Legalize, mean this shit smoking. I'm on topic, dropping another episode. The game winner, trade, maybe a field goal. Everybody right now doing the wave. You tune in, the show called The Man Cave. I see the chat, they always doing their thing. Big views, 85 inch screen. The game's on, you rushing, please. Remain calm, you on the road to chill. Do the watch along, the show's on. The host, you know it's S-God. It's no telling, the panel filled with guest stars. You're now rocking with the voice, you know who it is. It's your boy J Boogie. You're now rocking with my man S-God. I support him to the fullest, you heard? My man Mike Blaze. This is Awesome Productions. What that mean, we about to alter everything that's playing. Tune in. My man S.T.O.D. Support the show. Subscribe, share it. Most importantly, hit that like button.
All right, we are back once again with the halftime score. St. John's up 40-39 over Duke. Halftime stats for St. John's. Dylan Mitchell, the high man with 9 points and 2 rebounds. Zuby Ejiofor with 7 points, 3 rebounds. Bryce Hopkins with 6 points, 3 rebounds. Dylan Darling with 6 points in the game. Off the bench, Ruben Prey 3 for 3 from 3-point range for 9 big points off the bench for the Johnnies and 2 rebounds. Also, Ian Jackson with 3 points off the bench. Overall shooting for the Johnnies, 14 of 29 for 48%. 3-point shooting, this is where they're at 9 of 18 for 50%. So they're knocking down half of their 3-point shots. So Duke got to tighten up the defense in the second half. Free throw shooting, they're 3 of 4 for 75%. Rebounds, 13 rebounds. They got 11 assists, 5 turnovers, 4 steals in the game. For Duke, Malik Brown with 6 points, 5 rebounds. Cameron Boozer with 9 points, 1 rebound. Dame Sarr with 2 points. The high man for Duke is Isaiah Evans with 11 points, 2 rebounds. Caden Boozer with 7 points, 2 rebounds. Off the bench, Patrick Gungba with 2 points and Nicholas Kamenia with 2 points. Overall shooting for Duke, 14 of 28 for 50%. 3-point shooting, Duke is only 2 of 7 for 29%. Free throw shooting, they're 9 of 11 for 82%. Duke with 17 rebounds, 7 assists, 5 turnovers, and 3 steals in the game. So once again, halftime score, St. John's 40, Duke 39. Like I said, great game, great close game. Like I said, we'll see what happens in the second half. That's where the game is won in the second half. We'll see what adjustments both teams going to make and stuff. Like I said, for St. John's, like I said, hey, they getting contribution from guys off the bench, much needed for St. John, especially Prey coming off the bench and hitting 3 big threes off the bench for those guys. And that's what Duke, like I said, Isaiah Evans, the high man, with 11 points in the game for Duke. So they're going to need much more of that in the second half. Also, Cameron Boozer, second half, like I said, they'll go more to him too and stuff like that. So we will see. But like I said, so far, not too many turnovers in the game, which is a great thing, man. Like I said, great competitive game. Like I said, close game right now. St. John's 40, Duke 39. Checking out the other score, Alabama's up 15 of 13 over Michigan right now. And like I said, that game is most likely going to be a track meet, man, because like I said, Alabama gets up and down. It's like St. John's, it's like the shooting, 9 of 18 from 3-point range in the first half. And that was one of the things with St. John's, not a good 3-point shooting team and stuff like that. And they are just knocking down half of their 50%, 9 of 18 from 3-point range. And then even on, like I said, looking at some of the highlights, looking at some of these inbounds passes, like you have got to, you can't get the ball close to the, you can't be close to the out of bounds line to get the ball. You got to be at least 4 feet behind, back or 5 feet back to give yourself some clearance. Yeah, now look up. Michigan done took the lead now, 17-15 over Alabama. Like I said, that one's going to be a track meet. That one's going to be up and down. March Madness, men's and women, man. Great weekend. Going to be a lot of basketball this weekend. Like I said, winners of these games go on to the Elite Eight. And then next week, on to the Final Four. Winner of this game plays Sunday. So the winner of these games plays tomorrow and Sunday. Will go on to the Final Four. Tomorrow's games will punch their ticket to the Final Four. So high scoring first half, man, 40-39. Which people say this was going to be a lower scoring game, man, but 40-39, high scoring first half. Yeah, so like I said, that Michigan Alabama game is going to be a great one, man. It's just going to be like the Arizona and Arkansas game last night. The Tennessee Iowa State game, now that's probably going to be the game that's going to be probably the tough one, right? Tennessee and Iowa State. Also, UConn and Michigan State too. So those are two good games later on. So far, let me see what the number one seeds left. Duke is one. Michigan is another one. And then let me see the ones. So Duke, Michigan, and Arizona, they're the three number one seeds because they got in Purdue or Kansas got knocked out. So tomorrow's game to get to the Final Four, Iowa at Illinois. Okay, Big Ten teams playing against each other, so they know each other. So I know those are good for either one of those two schools. And then the last game will be Purdue at Arizona. That should be a great one too tomorrow night. The winner of both of those games will punch their ticket to the Final Four. And then, like I said, the winners of these games tonight will play Sunday to punch their ticket to the Final Four. But the winners of tonight's game will get to the Elite Eight. So we'll see what adjustments both teams make coming out of the half, man. But like I said, for St. John's, they gotta be happy with their 3-point shooting, making 9 of 18 for 3-point shooting. So they want to keep that up in the second half. Obviously, some rebounding. Duke, like I said, got Duke had like 7-point lead, 6-point lead, but like I said, just got to be more aggressive in that second half, man. You know, push that pace, man, and force them to foul you. You know, get to like they want to press you. It's like you got to break that press. So that's going to be the thing in the second half. Got to break that press. Yeah, I'm just thinking of St. John's Mike Jarvis. It's like I haven't heard that name in a long time. Mike Jarvis. I said so far in this game, Duke is doing good in the paint. Like I said, just gotta get better outside shooting. But like I said, if you can get some more buckets in the paint, that's where you're gonna live and die by. The paint can get some more buckets in the paint, but they gotta do a better job of playing defense out on that perimeter. Can't be sucked in, man. You got to be out there with your guy. You know what I'm saying? You can't get drawn in or sucked in. You got to get back to your guy. Cannot be giving up wide open shots. You're not getting wide open shots. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't getting wide open shots, don't give them wide open shots. Make them contested shots. You want to be up there contested shots. Yeah, that's a good thing about March Madness, man. You get some upsets and, of course, you get some Cinderellas. But this year, it looked like there's no Cinderellas. These are all the big teams this time around, man. So that's what makes it even much more fun. And like I said, these guys are great matchups. UConn and Michigan State tonight, as well as uh, Iowa State and Tennessee. And Alabama and Michigan playing right now, two teams that can get up and down the court. And then Duke and St. John's right now. Great. Couldn't ask for better games for a Friday night. Tom Izzo. Got some legendary coaches. Danny Hurley. Hurley's getting himself won some national championships games. He got into the game late, but he's coming on, man, with that UConn program. Ever since Jim Calhoun left the Huskies, they've been finding clamoring for another coach, and Danny Hurley's has come in and take over the reins and turn that program around, man. Yeah, so like I said, the winner of this game, Duke and St. John's, will meet the winner of UConn and Michigan State Sunday for a chance. I mean, for the Elite Eight and a chance on get on to the Final Four. Like I said, whoever gets to the Final Four this year won't even be a surprise. Like I said, because these are all great teams, all tough teams. So no Cinderellas, man. No Cinderellas to the Final Four. I know early on in the tournament, High Point was upset with Wisconsin and stuff. Duke almost got knocked off by Siena in that first round. Came coming as a 28-point favorite, and that's why you can't take these teams for lightly, man. You got to get in there and do work. So about the second half about to start in a few minutes. Let's see what the adjustments that both teams have made going into the second half, man. Hey, got to leave everything out there on the court, man. The winner goes on. The loser season is over. Look at some scores around the NBA. Halftime, Pacers up 60-50 over the Clippers. Also, 10:40 left to go in the second quarter. Hawks up 34-28 over the Celtics. 6:47 left to go in the second quarter. Cleveland over Miami right now, 55-36. Game just starting. Houston and Memphis game is just starting. Also, 7 minutes into the first quarter, left in the first quarter, OKC up 15-14 over the Bulls. 8:30 game, Pelicans at Toronto. 9 o'clock game, Utah at Denver. 10 o'clock game, Washington at Golden State. Dallas at Portland. And the last game, Brooklyn Nets at the LA Lakers. And that's the 10:30 game tonight. So a lot of basketball on tonight. Like I said, also in the women's game, Duke women's against LSU women tonight at 10 o'clock as well. Right now, UCLA women is playing right now against Minnesota. So March Madness is upon us like this week, and then it'll all be over next weekend. By next weekend and Monday, it'll be all over, man. The college basketball will be gone. Felt like it just started. So I'm watching that Purdue Texas game. I couldn't even believe how Texas lost at the 1 second left to go. They got a tip in by Purdue with 0.7 seconds. I was like, oh my God. I thought that game was going to be heading into for overtime. So Duke and St. John's in the nation's capital, Capital One Arena, Washington, D.C. So second half will be starting in a few minutes. Like I said, Duke got to get their shooting on, man. Got to get their shooting on. Got to get their scoring on. Also defense. Defense, both teams know they're playing defense. So most likely in the second half, these guys probably going to get up into these other guys and try to make them make these shots contested, tough shots. You're going to have to make some tough contested shots. So we'll see. I don't know if it's probably going to be Duke's basketball in the second half to start. We'll see. I think St. John's won the tap. It says St. John's, Red Storms, St. John's, Redmonds. Like, what a history, man. St. John's, like I said, they've come a long way. From the Lou Carnesecca. Speaking of Lou Carnesecca, just passed away, too, not too long ago. Lou Carnesecca, legendary St. John's basketball head coach from the Big East, the old Big East. Actually, it was a couple of years ago. Yeah, not too long ago. Always Lou Carnesecca in that sweater. It's crazy how back then these coaches had the sweater. John Thompson had the towel over his shoulder. What's the name? Used to chew on a towel. What's that UNLV coach? What is his name? Jerry Tarkanian. Jerry used to chew on that towel when he was nervous. All right, about to start the second half. So, like I said, Duke only took 7 3-point shots, while St. John's took 18 and made half of them. And that's why the Johnnies are in the lead, because they taking shots. And some of them shots is wide open. Duke, like I said, they got to get out there on them 3-point shooters. You can't just watch them guys shoot the shot. You got to stay with your man. You got to be out there, man. Yep, just what I said. He said, like, contested shots, man. Got to get out. He got to get out there on defense, man. You can't just watch them shoot wide open 3-point shots. And that last St. John's end the quarter on end the half on a 6-0 run to take the lead. All right, so Duke will inbounds. Dame Sarr looking inbounds to Boozer. Boozer with the ball, guarded by Darling. Boozer over to Cam. Cam Boozer at the top of the key, over to Dame Sarr at the elbow. Sarr with the ball over to Boozer. Boozer in the post. Boozer Shot is up and good off the glass, and Duke goes back up 140. St. John's inbounds. Darling with the ball over to Hopkins. Hopkins with the ball back to Darling. Hopkins over to Mitchell. Mitchell back to Hopkins over to Ejiofor now. Ejiofor at the top of the key over to Darling. And you see, and foul on Malik Brown. And so even on that play, Dame Sarr, you got to get back to the other guy. You just in no man's land. All right, so the Johnnies will inbounds. Hopkins will inbounds. Hopkins looking, finds Darling. Darling with the ball. Darling back out to Hopkins. Hopkins with the ball. Shot is up, no good. And Ejiofor shot is blocking. Duke with the rebound. Over ahead to Caden Boozer. Boozer into the front court. Boozer back out to Isaiah Evans. 3-point shot is up and good. 44-40 Duke. All right. Johnny's with the ball. Into the front court. Mitchell with the ball. Mitchell. And Malik Brown is Ejiofor with the elbow. I don't know what is this elbow and thing. It's just like this stuff got to stop, man. This stuff is just crazy. Everybody hooking people under the, with the elbow. I mean, with the shoulder and all this stuff. All right, St. John's inbounds to Mitchell. Mitchell with the ball. Mitchell in the corner to Sellers. His 3-point shot is up, no good. And it's blocked by Boozer. Over to Caden Boozer. Boozer with the ball into the front court. Around his brother, around Cameron Boozer's screen. Caden into the lane. Caden, shot is up, no good and no foul. And St. John's have the ball. Darling with the ball into the front court. Ahead to Hopkins. And he is fouled. And that's Duke's third foul in this half, man. St. John's has no foul. And all right, St. John's will inbounds. Mitchell inbounds to Sellers. His shot from the corner is good. 44-42. All right, Duke inbounds to Dame Sarr. Sarr with the ball over to Boozer. Caden Boozer into the front court, guarded by Darling. Boozer over to Cam. Cam with the ball, guarded by Mitchell. And the ball is stolen by Ejiofor. You can't, and he dunks it. You can't throw a pass like that. You got to throw a stronger pass, and we tied at 44. You can't throw a pass like that. You got to throw a strong pass. You can't be a bounce pass. You got to throw a strong pass. All right, Duke with the ball now. Caden Boozer with the ball over to Malik Brown. Back to Boozer. Over to Isaiah Evans. Fake the shot. Evans, his 3-point shot is up and no good. Rebounded by Malik Brown. And he misses the tap, and Boozer misses. These guys got to put the ball in the basket. You're right there. St. John's with the ball. Mitchell. Shot is up, good, and a foul. But they got to put the ball. You got to put the basket in. You got to put that ball in the basket. Missed two bunnies at the basket. Missed two bunnies at the basket. You can't miss those bunnies. Dunk the ball and put the ball in the basket. And Mitchell will be at the free throw line to complete the 3-point play. And his free throw is up, and it's no good. Rebounded by Boozer. Over to Caden Boozer with the ball. And Patrick Gungba has checked back into the game. And Caden Boozer is stripped, and Ejiofor and he gets the dunk. And it's a 4-point game. Timeout on the floor. Duke St. John's with a 4-point lead. With 17:06 left to go in the second half, 4-point St. John's lead. And that's something Caden Boozer got to play much stronger with the basketball. It's like you got to look to be decisive with the ball. You can't look to just be like coming up and trying to pass the ball off. You got to be looking like to do something with the basketball. Let me see what's score in the other game. 3 minutes and 2 seconds left to go in the first half, and I told you it was going to be a track meet. Alabama 41, Michigan 40. So, and that's 3 minutes left to go in that. So back to action. It would be Duke basketball, and Duke with 7 turnovers now. Like I said, gotta be what you call it. Gotta pay attention to the ball, man. Gotta pay attention to the ball. Caden Boozer with the basketball. Mm-hmm. All right. Duke inbounds over to Caden Boozer. Boozer with the ball. Boozer into the front court. Over to Cameron Boozer. And he almost loses the ball. And he does lose the ball to Ejiofor, who lays it up and in. And it's a 6-point St. John's lead, 50-44. And Duke is not playing. It's like too many turnovers with the basketball. Dame Sarr. And ball is deflected out of St. John's ball. I mean, it'd be Duke basketball. All right, and Caleb Foster will check into the game. St. John's on a 10-0 run right now in the last minute and 30. All right, Duke will inbounds over to Caleb Foster. Foster with the ball into the front court. Foster guarded by Harper. Over to Boozer. Boozer with the ball. He's fouling the dude right over to Isaiah Evans. Evans with the ball. All right, so Duke will inbound down 6. All right, Duke inbounds to Gungba. Gungba with the basketball. Over to Isaiah Evans. Evans with the ball guarded by Ejiofor. Evans, and he's tripped up. So Duke inbounds to Gungba. Gungba with the ball over to Sarr. Sarr and to Cameron Boozer, but it's deflected out, so it'll be Duke basketball. All right, Duke inbounds over to Cameron Boozer. Boozer with the basketball, looking finds Foster. Foster in the lane over to Dom Maysar. 3-point shot is up. No good. Rebounded by St. John's. You got to stop rebounding with one hand. You got to rebound the ball with two hands, man. Ahead to Mitchell. Mitchell with the ball into the front court. Over to Jackson. Jackson with the ball. Over to Ejiofor. Ejiofor in the corner to Prey. His 3-point shot is up and good. And it's a 9-point game, 53-44. St. John's on a 13-0 run right now to take a 9-point lead. Look at the ball. Cameron Boozer shot is up and blocked. And Gungba is fouled. Timeout on the floor with the score. St. John's 53, Duke 44. Johnny's with a 9-point lead. A lot of this has been in the second half with turnovers like ball pressure. It has turned the ball over, turned Duke over, and gotten the steals and gotten the turnovers and got some easy baskets. And then Prey again with the 3-point shooting for the Johnnies. All right, so it looked like Gung would be at the free throw line after the timeout. But like I said, St. John's on a 13-0 run right now. So Duke got to get their stuff together, man. It's crunch time now. I got to get in there and got to get some stops and make some baskets. Got to make some baskets. But first thing was like Gungbo got to be at the free throw line. Got to make some free throws and get some points. You got to get some points, man. This is what happens. Like I said, when you playing like this is intended about these, like, yeah, you got to go up strong with the basketball. Like I said, too many times these guys lay the ball up. Yo, dunk the basketball. Stop playing. It's like you got to dunk. You got to dunk the basketball. Got to get up off the ground. All right, so Gungba, which be at the free throw line. The last time he was there, he missed both free throws. One was an air ball. And he missed the first free throw again. He's got to make these free throws, man. All right, his second free throw is up and it's good. 53-45. All right, St. John's with the ball. Jackson with the ball. Yeah, St. John's made their last 6. Duke missed the last 5 attempts. Well, most of it is like turnovers, man. All right, St. John's with the ball. Ejiofor at the top of the key. Finds Sellers over to Prey. Prey with the ball. Over to Jackson. Jackson, pull-up shot is up and good. 55-45. Duke quickly inbounds to Caleb Foster. Foster with the ball into the front court. Foster guarded by Jackson. Foster in the paint. Over to Evans. Back to Cam Boozer. Guarded by Prey. Out to Caleb Foster. Foster guarded by Mitchell. Foster out to Boozer. Shot is up. No good. Rebound. Gungbo with the rebound. Over to Boozer. His three-point shot is up. No good. Rebounded by Caleb Foster. Off the glass and good. 55-47. I don't know what that sequence was with Duke. All right, St. John's with the ball. Jackson with the ball into the front court. Over to Sellers. Over to Jackson. Jackson over to Mitchell. Mitchell to Prey. Prey at the top of the key. Back to Sellers. Sellers over to Jackson. Back to Sellers. Over to Mitchell. Mitchell now. Over to Ejiofor. Ejiofor. Shot is up. No good. Rebounded by Dame Sarr almost had the rebound, loses the ball, but Caleb Foster has it. Duke into the front court. 13:41 left to go in the second half. St. John's with an 8-point lead. Foster in the paint. Foster to the lane, lays it up and in. 55-49. All right. St. John's with the ball. Timeout on the floor. St. John's. So the Johnnies with a 6-point lead going into the timeout. So far, like I said, the other game, like I said, track meet, halftime score. Halftime score, it looked like Alabama up 49-47 over Michigan at the half. We got a great game here, man. St. John's and Duke. All right, so we'll be back to action. See, it'll be St. John's basketball. All right, the Johnnies into the front court. Harper shot is up. Darling shot is up and good. So 57-49, Duke with the ball. Foster with the ball into the front court. Foster. Shot is up and good. 57-51. All right, St. John's with the basketball. St. John's into the front court. Darling with the ball at the top of the key. Over in the corner to Sellers. His three-point shot is no good. Rebounded by Cameron Boozer. Well, Duke with the basketball. Caleb Foster into the front court. Foster down the lane. Shot is up, no good, but he is fouled. All right, if this is your first time to the Man Cave podcast, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, man, and share it on all social media platforms. It costs you nothing. It is totally free, as well as the Aboriginal Sports Network. Make sure you go and subscribe to the Aboriginal Sports Network. It costs you nothing. It is totally free, man. And if you're following on X, formerly Twitter, all you got to do is hit that follow button for the Aboriginal Sports Network and Escott Media, the Man Cave podcast. All right. Caleb Foster at the free throw line misses his first free throw, is no good. And he makes the second free throw, 57-52, 5-point St. John's lead. Nicholas Kamenia and Darren Harris is checking to the game for Duke. And Darling with the basketball. And they call a foul. It's like he was losing that ball. All right. So St. John's inbounds. Hopkins will inbound the ball. Hopkins with the ball over to Darling. Darling over to Mitchell. Mitchell with the ball over to Hopkins. Hopkins to Sellers. Back to Hopkins. Back to Hopkins. It's Ejiofor. Shot in the lane is up and no good. Rebounded by Boozer. Boozer with the basketball over to Caleb Foster. Foster with the ball now, guarded by Darling. Foster into the front court. Over to Cameron Boozer. Cam Boozer shot off the glass and good. 57-54. Duke St. John's inbounds and Duke gets a steal. Kamenia out to Caleb Foster. His 3-point shot is up and it's an air ball. So Foster don't have the shot. It's like somebody else got to shoot that basketball, man. Timeout on the floor though. 3-point St. John's lead, but somebody is like Foster and Gungba look like, coming back from these injuries. It's like they still got some rust on them as far as the shooting and stuff like that, outside shooting or and free throw shooting. So these other guys got to be ready to step up, man. But timeout on the under 12 timeout. St. John's with a 3-point lead, 57-54. All right, so Duke look like got a little spark now with Caleb Foster running the point right now. But like I said, because Caleb is taking it, he's actually taking it all the way to the basket. Caden got to do the same thing to be aggressive and stuff like that. I know they want to stop and pass the ball at the top of the key, but hey, you got some dudes on your heels, man. Shay, go right by, blow right by him, go to the basket. So, but St. John's been having a hot shooting second half, man. They made like 8 of their last 11 shots, man. Like I said, any other time they not scoring, shooting the basketball like this, but hey, it's one of those days where it's like, hey, they just hitting a lot of stuff, but do got to be, like I said, get in there and get some contested shots, make them make some tough shots, man. Don't give them no more steals and stuff like that. Got to play much stronger with the basketball, man. Cut the turnovers down and stuff like that, and take it to the rack. All right, so it'll be St. John's ball. 11:46 left to go in the second half. All right, Duke showing a little press. St. John's with the basketball. Darling over to Mitchell. Over to Ejiofor. Ejiofor with the ball over to Mitchell. Down to Sellers. Looked like he walked. All right, to Darling. Darling with the ball over to Mitchell. Mitchell in the corner to Sellers. His 3-point shot is up and good. The defensive breakdown, you got to get out there, man. Can't have these guys get wide open shots. Caleb Foster inbounds to Caleb Foster. It's the same thing, bro. It's like you playing zone. You got to understand you're playing in an area. You got to know you're just playing an area. Over to Cameron Boozer. Boozer in the paint. Shot is up, no good. Shot is up and good. 60-56. All right, inbounds to Darling. Darling back to Mitchell. Mitchell with the ball over to Darling. Darling now at the top of the key. Over to Ejiofor. Down to Kamenia. Now to Sellers. Back to Darling. Darling with the ball. Down to Ejiofor. Ejiofor out to Darling. His 3-point shot is up. No good. And it'll be Duke basketball. Good hustle by Kayla Foster. RC was good. Hey, I'll see y'all. What you call it? UCLA women's doing their thing. Huh? They playing right now. Then Duke and LSU women's gonna play at 10 o'clock tonight. That should be a great game, man. All right. Duke set the inbounds. Camino down 4 against St. John's. Camino with the ball. Inbounds to Foster. Foster with the ball, guarded by Darling. Foster into the front court. Foster into the front court now. And looking around the Boozer screen, now around the Harris screen, back to Boozer. Over to Gungba. Over to Kamenya. His shot in lane is good, and it's a 2-point game, 60-58. All right, St. John's inbound the ball to Mitchell. Mitchell with the ball back to Darling. Back to Mitchell. Mitchell over to Darling. Oh, Minnesota playing UCLA tough right now. Yeah, that's these games have been good. All right, Shannon with the ball over to Ejiofor. Ejiofor over to Hopkins. Hopkins with the ball. Hopkins fall away shot is up and good. 62-58. Duke quickly inbounds to Gungba. Gungba with the basketball. Gungba over to Kayla Foster, and Foster into the front court. But it's a 10-second. So it'll be St. John's ball. But Duke, I don't know what they should have called a timeout or something like that. Once that ball got knocked away and it's going backward, you got to call a timeout. You got to call a timeout, man. All right, so it'll be St. John's ball up 4. All right, St. John's inbounds to Mitchell. Mitchell with the basketball over to Darling. Darling to Ejiofor. Out to Darling in the corner to Jackson. Down low to Goma. Rebounded by Boozer. Boozer with the ball over to his brother Caden. Caden into the front court. Caden out to Kamenya. Kamenya. And he is fouled by Darling. All right, so it'll be inbounds. You see, I'm gonna tell you, yeah, it's a tough game, man. But yeah, like I said, they got to shoot. They got to play better on defense. All right, Duke set the inbounds. Boozer, Caden inbounds to Cam. Cam at the top of the key, guarded by Hopkins. Around him, Evans screen. Cameron Boozer in the paint. Out to Isaiah Evans, had a 3-point shot. Shot is up and good. 62-60. All right. St. John's inbounds to Mitchell. Mitchell with the ball over to, is that Jackson or Shannon? Okay, over to Jackson, down to Shannon, back to Jackson. Around the Ejiofor screen. All right, over to Hopkins. Hopkins over to Ejiofor. Ejiofor. And a 6 on the shot clock. All right, so it'll be St. John's inbound with 6 seconds on the shot clock. All right, inbounds to Mitchell. Mitchell with the ball. Over to wide open shot, no good. Rebounded by Isaiah Evans. Here comes Duke. Over to Caden Boozer. Boozer into the front court. Boozer guarded by Jackson. Caden over to Cam. Cam with the ball, guarded by Hopkins. Cam over to Isaiah Evans. His 3-point shot is up and good, and Duke takes the lead, 63-62. All right, Jackson with the ball now. I know Sanders with the ball into the front court. Over to shot, and he makes a 3-point shot. Hopkins It's like Duke fell asleep again on it. You can't keep falling asleep on these shots, man. It's like them guys is out there. You got to be out there. All right, Duke with the ball. Kamenia with the ball into the front court. Kamenia looking. Finds Cam. Cam with the ball. Guarded by Mitchell. Cam around Isaiah Evans screen. Isaiah Evans. Evans in the lane. Shot is up off the glass is good, and we're tied at 65. All right. St. John's inbounds to Sannon. Sannon into the front court. Over to Mitchell. Mitchell with the ball. Over to Jackson. Back to Sannon. Over to Hopkins. Hopkins with the ball. At the top key to Ejiofor. In a corner. Down low to Sellers. No, Mitchell. And 3-point shot from the corner is no good. Rebounded by Isaiah Evans. Evans with the ball over to Caden Boozer. Boozer, 6:39 left to go in the game. Boozer into the front court. Boozer, he's like, you got to go by these dudes, man. Boozer over to Isaiah Evans. His 3-point shot is up, no good, but he is fouled. So I don't know if it's going to be Gungba. He fouled Gungba or Isaiah Evans, but timeout on the floor. Tied at 65 with 6:23 left to go in this game, man. A great game. Duke and St. John's. Yeah, let me check out the other score. Like I said, still halftime, Alabama 49-47. The 9:45 game, Michigan State at Connecticut. The winner of this game will face the winner of Michigan State and Connecticut in the Elite Eight. And then the last game tonight, Tennessee at Iowa State. That should be another good game. Checking out the women's. Let me see what the women's score is right now. UCLA 42, Minnesota 32. Yeah, they going at it. Big task at hand, man. Hey, that's what March Madness is about, man. All these teams, these are some great games, man. Like I said, the men's game's been great. The women's game's been great. Like I said, Duke and LSU tonight, man. LSU been scoring like 100 points and stuff like that. Should be a good game with the Duke women's at LSU women tonight and stuff like that. But like that Alabama and Michigan, I knew that was going to be a track meet in the men's. I knew that was going to be a track meet. 49-47 right now. Is going to be the same like how the Arkansas-Arizona game was last night. Another high-scoring track meet. You know, and like I said, then the game after this, Michigan State and UConn. That's going to be another great game, you know, with two great coaches, Danny Hurley and Tom Izzo. He said, I want to see Minnesota succeed, but not against UCLA. Yeah, but the Bruins should be able to take that. They should be able to take that bets, and the Bruins should be able to take that game, man, with Minnesota. They got to get a little bit more breathing room. They're about 10 points over there. They got to get a little bit more breathing room. Hey, I hope so. Like I said, man, in the second half, like Duke, like I said, a lot of it been on the turnovers and stuff like that, but they starting to get their bearings right. So hopefully, like I said, man, Isaiah Evans been a man for Duke tonight, man. So, hey, keep it going. Caleb Foster coming in and helping him run that point. So it's been a flagrant foul on that, man. He just ran through the screen, man. So Patrick Gungba be at the free throw line and stuff like that. Wow. Yeah, Iowa's men's basketball team, man. Yo, they've been playing some great basketball. They took out I forgot who they took out. And Gungba missed the first free throw. He's missing too many free throws in this game. But yeah, they took out Nebraska the second game and stuff like that. And Gungba missed both free throws. He's missing too many free throws, man. These free throws got to make these free throws. He done missed like 4 or 5 free throws in this game and stuff like that. Him and I think he done missed like 5 or 6 free throws. All right, so it'll be Duke basketball. Kamenia inbounds to Boozer, guarded by Ejiofor, over to Isaiah Evans. Evans almost loses it. Evans over to Boozer. Boozer at the top of the key. Boozer. Shot is up and good. 67-65. Duke goes up 2. All right. Johnny's quickly inbound ahead to Mitchell. Mitchell with the ball over to Ejiofor. Ejiofor with the ball over to Jackson. Shot is up. No good. Rebounded by Malik Brown. Over to Caden Boozer. Boozer with the basketball into the front court. Guarded by Darling. Boozer now. Boozer. Shot is up. No good, but he is fouled. So Boozer will be at the free throw line. So Boozer will be at the free throw line. But like I said, Duke has been pitiful at the free throw line. 11 of 17 tonight, man. And it's no good. And Duke is just missing way too many free throws. This is like, you can't miss big free throws in big games. You got to knock free throws down. All right, so St. John's with the basketball now. Sellers with the ball. Sellers over to, is it Shannon? No, Jackson. Step back 3-point shot is up. No good. Rebounded by Cameron Boozer. Boozer with the ball over to Caden Boozer. But Duke is missing too many free throws. They blowing and missing a lot of free throws. You can't be missing free throws in a tournament game. Cannot be missing free throws like that. You can't be shooting like 60%. All right, Malik Brown with the ball over to Cam Boozer. There's only 9 on the shot clock. Boozer in the lane. Fall away shot is up. No good. Rebounded by St. John's. Hopkins with the ball into the front court. Hopkins. And he almost loses it. And they saves it, but he saved Sellers with the ball. And Duke should have got that steal, but couldn't get that. And it's blocked. And Malik Brown gets it. And shot is good and a foul. I don't know what Kamenia is like. You didn't. Was he outside the paint? I thought he was outside the paint, but hey. So Hopkins at the free throw line. And his free throw is up and it's good. No, but it's put back in on a dunk and Duke not boxing out. And it's a 2-point, and they just scored 4 points off of that play, 69-67. All right, Foster with the ball into the front court over to Boozer. Boozer with the basketball, 4:05 left to go in the game. Boozer with the ball over to Evans. Evans with the basketball. Fall away shot is up and good. 3-point shot, and Duke goes back 70-69. All right. With the basketball, St. John's now with the basketball. Hopkins with the basketball. Over to, is it Shannon? Over to Sellers. His shot from the baseline is up. And Boozer with the rebound. Over to Foster. Get over the timeline. All right. 3:17 left to go in the game. Boozer with the basketball, guarded by Hopkins. Boozer now guarded by the Jackson. Shot is up, good, and a foul. And Cameron Boozer will be at the free throw line to complete the 3-point play. But they got to make free throws. They missing way too many free throws, man. These free throws is killing them, man. It's like these guys are getting there, got to make these free throws. 3-point Duke leads 72-69 with 3:06 left to go in the game. He said Chavez in Oklahoma tomorrow versus South Carolina rematch. Yeah, man, that should be a good game. Bruins 49 Minnesota 30 is going left for the Golden Gophers. Yeah. The Gophers got to score. They got to score that basketball, man. 51-38. They got to score, but they got to score. This is a tournament game. There's no what you call it. Mosley was good. Salute. Let's go, Duke. I'll get you, Mosley. Let's get it. You know what I'm saying? Duke and St. John's, the Johnnies, man. The Johnnies are the hometown team, but for tonight, I got to go for the Dukies tonight, man. But hey, I'm right there with you. Let's go, Johnnies, man. Johnnies, like I said, great game, man. 3 minutes left to go in this game, man. This game is far from over. Man, it's a great game, like I said, man. I just remember these guys playing in the 90s, man, with Ron Artest, Barkley, LeVar Postel. Who's just some of the other guys? Omar Cook, all these guys, man. St. John's when he was playing Elton Brand and them guys, man. Those were some great games, man. With Shane Battier, Elton Brand against Ron Artest. That St. John's Duke game was like the big ticket, man. Them dudes came on and put on a show. Always a great rivalry with the Johnnies. Yeah, Mike Jarvis was the head coach. Mike Jarvis had the Red Storms. Or I don't know if it was the Redmen. No, they were the Red Storms. Had them rolling during them times, man. I think Tariq Brown or Tariq Turner. I think. Yeah, Omar Cook, those guys, man. Eric Barkley was a beast as a point guard, man. Eric Barkley was a beast with Ron Artest. Like I said, LeVar, that was a tough St. John's team, man. Bootsy Thornton. I think it was Bootsy Thornton. My God. Them dudes was beasting. That was like the late 90s, man. The late 90s, them guys was rolling, man. They had Madison Square Garden rolling. That's when St. John's used to be playing in the Garden. They used to go to had the games at the Garden. That's how sellout they were selling out. And then people go far back, the Redmen, St. John's Redmen. That's with Walter Berry, Chris Mullins, those dudes from the 80s in the old Big East with Lou Carnesecca. All right, so Cameron Boozer be at the free throw line to try to complete the 3-point play, but Duke is missing weight. Like I said, too many free throws. Duke could have a bigger lead if they be making their free throws. And if they lose this game, that's what's going to cost them this game is these free throws. They got to make free throws. They keep missing a lot of free throws. Like I said, I don't know what is the thing with today's basketball teams. All you got doing is shooting. You got to practice free throws. That's all you got to do is shooting and free throws. All they got to do is have shoot-arounds all day long. Because they ain't doing nothing else. They ain't running no damn plays. Just fucking shooting the ball from 3-point range. All right, free throws good, and it's a 4-point game, 73-69. Sellers with the basketball into the front court, over to Mitchell. Mitchell with the basketball, over to Ejiofor. Ejiofor guarded by Brown. Ejiofor trying to find somebody. Over to Sellers. His 3-point shot is up. No good. Rebounded by Caleb Foster. Foster with the ball. Go. Get out of his way. Foster into the front court. Foster at the logo now. Foster around the Cameron Boozer. Foster down the lane. And his shot is no good. With 10 seconds on the shot clock. Sometimes these guys, they fake and then they just like stop. It's just like he got fouled. Dude didn't even block his shot. He had his hand. My God. All right, Foster set the inbounds. Foster out to Malik Brown. Brown over to Cameron Boozer. Boozer, you got to go. Boozer down the lane in the corner. Caleb Foster. Jump shot is up and good. 75-69. Timely shooting by Caleb Foster. 2 minutes left to go in the game. Johnny's quickly inbounds to Mitchell. Mitchell into the front court. Over to Darling. Darling back the ball to Mitchell. Out to Ejiofor. Ejiofor now with a 3-point shot is up and good. And 75-72. So you didn't get out there. All right. Duke inbounds to Caleb Foster. 149 left to go. Malik Brown, you got to get out there. All right. Foster into the front court. Guarded by Darling. Foster. Around the Evans screen. So Foster still got Foster in the lane now. Foster. Shot is up and good. Should have been an and one. 77-72. So the Johnnies quickly inbounds. Over to Mitchell. What y'all do? Y'all got to get back and play defense. Darling shot is up. No good. And rebound. And Hopkins with the ball. Hopkins over to Ejiofor. His 3-point shot is up. No good. Malik, you got to get the ball with 2 hands. Rebound with 2 hands. I don't know. What is this one-hand rebounding stuff what these guys are doing? You got to rebound with 2 hands. Should have been an and one with Caleb Foster. He got fouled on the and one. So timeout on the floor, St. John's. 77-72. 5-point Duke lead with 1:07 left to go in the game. Like I said, the winner of this game will play the winner of UConn and Michigan State on Sunday. So the winner of this game gets to the Elite Eight. And if they win on Sunday, they'll get to the Final Four to punch their ticket to the Final Four. So tomorrow's games will be the teams that's going to punch their ticket to the Final Four tomorrow's game. Arizona and Purdue tomorrow and Iowa against Illinois tomorrow. The winners of those teams will punch their ticket to the Final Four tomorrow. The winner of this game will play Sunday in the Elite Eight to try to punch their ticket to the Final Four. So 1:07 left to go in this game. Duke with a 5-point lead. Well, it was a good run. Proud of the squad. Yeah, man. I mean, this game still ain't over, though, man, because like I said, man, St. John's got pressure and stuff like that. 5-point game, man. So still a little time, like 1:07 left to go. All right. The Johnnies set the inbounds. All right, inbounds to Mitchell. Mitchell with the ball. Mitchell. Over to Sellers. Sellers. Back out to Hopkins. Hopkins shot is up and good around the basket. 77. Caleb Foster with the ball. Inbound to Caleb Foster. Foster throws ahead to Gungba. Gungba into the front court. Somebody go get the ball. Over to Caleb Foster. And timeout on the floor for Duke with 40 seconds left to go. 3-point game now, 77-74. Yeah, I should be back Sunday against when they play OKC. Sunday, Knicks versus OKC. Knicks had they got blown out last night against Charlotte. I knew I didn't think it was gonna get blown out, but they put up another dud again. Like I said, all these games count, man. You got to win these games. They had a golden opportunity to keep pace with the Celtics because the Celtics beat OKC. Now the Celtics got a 1-game lead for that second seed. All right, 40.7 seconds left to go. 3-point game. All right, so Duke set the inbounds. All right, Dame Sorrow set the inbounds. into Caleb Foster, guarded by Mitchell. Foster with the ball, guarded by Hopkins. And a foul on St. John's. Why would you even foul? It's only a one possession game. And you holding Boozer's jersey. I mean, come on, man. So Boozer will be at the free throw line, but it's coming down. He got to make free throws. These guys got to make free throws, man. All right, so Boozer at the free throw line for two. Free throws up, and it's no good. Rebounded by St. John's. Ahead to Darling. Darling into the front court. Darling at the top of the key. Darling over to Ejiofor. Ejiofor guarded by Sar. Shot is no good. Rebounded by Kamenia, but it's a foul. 14 seconds left to go, and the Ejiofor will be going to the free throw line. See what I'm talking about with Duke? They keep missing these free throws. You got to make free throws, man. Boo's over here missing front end and one-on-one. You got to make them front end under those free throws. Got to make those free throws, man. All right, Ejiofor's first free throw is good. All right, Ejiofor's second free throw is up. No good. Rebounded by Dame Sarr over to Isaiah Evans, and he's fouled with 10 seconds left to go. So Isaiah Evans got to get to the free throw line and make free throws. But like I said, this game is only here because of the free throws. These guys got to make free throws, man. They're missing way too many free throws. It's like I told you, in today's basketball, all these guys got to do is shoot, free throws and shoot arounds and jump shots. That's all they do in today's sport, in today's basketball. These dudes should be much better shooters than they are. Like I said, that's all you got to do today. Just shoot the basketball. That's all you have to do. They hardly run plays. Everything is just read and react to something like that, or shoot wide open 3-point shots. It's like I said, man, like I keep saying, man, the pure shooters, like these pure shooters is gone, man. Because these guys, like I said, a lot of in today's sport is just streak shooters. They're streak shooters. If you put any defense on them, they can't make the shot. But these guys getting so many wide open shots, and they just keep missing. So, I mean, all it comes down to Isaiah Evans got to make free throws because Cameron Boozer went to the free throw line and missed the front end. You got to make free throws. So Isaiah Evans will be at the free throw line, probably Duke's best free throw shooters. Like, hopefully he can make both of these free throws. And it's 11.2 seconds left to go in the game. Isaiah Evans tonight, 24 points today for Isaiah Evans. But like I said, this is the pressure time now. You got to make these free throws. And he misses the first free throw. And this is what happens, man. This is what happens. Like I said, missing free throws. And the second one is good. And it's up, and St. John's inbounds. Darling with the ball. Darling. Fire shot is up. Out of bounds. It'll be Duke basketball, and Duke. with 1.8 seconds left to go. And Camino inbound with 1.8 seconds left to go. And timeout Duke with 1.8 seconds left to go. And I think that's the last timeout, so nobody has timeouts anymore. Like, man, like I said, free throw shooting is just like Dame Sar got back in there because Weston had a wide open 3-point shot he just missed to tie this game up. So 1.8 seconds left to go. They got to inbound the ball though. So if I'm them, like I said, if I got on the baseline, I'm throwing it past midcourt, man. Hey, let the seconds run off over there, man. Don't throw it underneath the basket. Yeah, congratulations, Haven Duke Nation. Hey, we see 1.8 seconds left to go, man. But yeah, like I said, the Duke advanced. Like I said, they'll advance to meet the winner of UConn and Michigan State. It's going to be another great game against UConn and Michigan State. Going to be another great game, and either one of those teams will be a formidable opponent for Duke as well. All right, so Duke is inbound. Kayla Foster's inbounding. What? It's 2.1 seconds on the clock. All right. The ball is into Cameron Boozer, and he's fouled. So he'll be back at the free throw line. He got to make free throws, though. That's what I'm saying. They got to get there. They got to make free throws. This is amazing. I was like, yo, this is amazing how these guys in a free throw shooting, man. So 1.5 seconds left to go. So Cameron Boozer at the free throw line for 2. And they ripped his you can see how they's like, yo, they ripped the K off. But got to make free throws, man. Like I said. All right. Let's see. Make his free throws. The first free throw is up, and it's good. 79-75. All right. Let's see what the second free throw. 1.5 seconds left to go. No timeouts for either team. And he makes the second free throw, 80-75. Inbounds to Hopkins, and shot is no good, and that is it. So Duke survives against St. John's, 80-75. Duke will go on to meet the winner of the next game, UConn versus Michigan State, on Sunday. And so Duke is on to the Elite Eight. All right, the Johnnies end their season 30-6, and their season, great season for the St. John's Red Storms and legendary Hall of Fame coach Rick Pitino. So Duke advances to meet the winner of Michigan State and UConn in the Elite Eight. Yes, sir. All right, I'm going to give you the final stats for this game. What a tough, gutsy game win for Duke. Like I said, St. John's was right here throughout the whole game. St. John's was leading this game and stuff like that. Duke towards the end started making shots, but the free throw shooting almost like let the St. John's right back into it to try to steal this win. But great win for Duke. Like I said, great game, man. St. John's had a hell of a season and stuff like that. Much respect to the Johnnies. All right, final stats for the St. John's Red Storms. Dylan Mitchell finishes with 13 points, 4 rebounds. Zuby Ejiofor finishes with 17 points, 8 rebounds. Bryce Hopkins with 15 points, 7 rebounds. Dylan's Darling with 8 points. Isaiah Sellers finishes with 5 points. Off the bench, Ruben Prey with 12 points off the bench. He was 4-4 from 3-point range. And Ian Jackson finishes with 5 points. Overall shooting for the St. John's Red Storm, 29 of 64 for 45%. Three-point shooting, they were 13 of 32 for 41%. Free throw shooting, they only went to free throw line 8 times. They were 4 of 8 for 50%. Rebound, they finished with 27 rebounds, 19 assists, 6 turnovers, and 7 steals and 3 blocks. For Duke, Malik Brown finishes with 6 points, 8 rebounds. Cam Boozer with a double-double, 22 points, 10 rebounds. Dame Sarr finishes with 2 points, 6 rebounds. Isaiah Evans, the high man in the game for Duke, with 25 big points in the game, 4 rebounds. Caden Boozer finishes with 7 points, 2 rebounds. Off the bench, Nicholas Camino with 4, and Caleb Foster in his return finishes with 11 points, 3 rebounds. Overall shooting for Duke, 30 of 56 for 54%. Three-point shooting, they were 5 of 14 for 36%. Free throw shooting, they were 15 of 24 for 63%. Rebound, they finished with 40 rebounds, 13 assists, 9 turnovers, 4 steals, and 5 block shots in the game. Once again, final score, Duke 80, St. John 75. Duke advances to the Elite Eight to meet the winner of Michigan State and UConn. Looking at the other NCAA game right now, Michigan up 70-60 over Alabama with 11:25 left to go in the second half. And the games following, number 3, Michigan State at number 2 seed UConn. And then the last game, Tennessee at Iowa State. And that will finish out the games for tonight, man. Mosley was good. Salute. Good game. Yeah, man. So my next stream, should be back here Sunday at 8 or 8:30. Knicks versus the Oklahoma City Thunder in Oklahoma City. Hopefully the Knicks can get back on the winning track. Like I said, they lost last night to the Charlotte Hornets, got their butt whipped. Again, like I said, man, Knicks got to get their consistency going at the end of the season. Every win counts, man, to keep pace with Boston for that number 2 seed. But I want to thank everybody for tapping this live stream, man. If this is your first time to the Man Cave Podcast and the Aboriginal Sports Network, make sure you go and hit that like and subscribe button, man, and share it on all social media platforms. It costs you nothing. It is totally free to hit that like and subscribe button. Make sure you hit that button on your way out the door, as well as if you're following on X, formerly Twitter, all you got to do is just hit that follow button, man, for the Escott Media Man Cave Podcast, as well as the Aboriginal Sports Network. Man, I want to thank all you guys tapping in, man. Shout out to the chat, man. Shout out to the soldiers, Mosley, Dewani, RC in the building. Big task at hand, man. Thank you for coming through, man. Also, Mets 2128. Who else? And yep, that was it. Oh, and Coach Robinson, man. Thanks for tapping in, man. Like I said, I'll be back on Sunday with OKC, Knicks and OKC, man. Keeping up with this March Madness, even though Duke would be playing. I have to see when let me see what time is that game. Oh, no, I'll do that game. So that game will be, they haven't did the time yet on it, but I'll be doing the Knicks game, man. So thank you guys for tapping in, man. Like I said, man, until next time, I'll be back on Sunday against Knicks and OKC, man. Till next time, see you guys tonight, man. Have a great night and continue watching March Madness, man. 2 more games coming on, as well as Michigan and Alabama on right now. Great game. So make sure you go and tap into that. And I'll see you next time. Peace.
Who's got the rocket launcher? I say we blow it up. Now fire that thing.
It's for the city of sports, playing with a giant Nick. With my man S. God.
That's him.
You feel the vibe?
That's me.
We going live.
That's us.
That like button shared, you been subscribed.
Stadium.
That MetLife, Big Blue, home of the Braves.
Yeah.
That turnpike, you can see that's where the game's played. NFL one day, then it's the NBA. Madison Square Garden, that's where the Knicks play. This that NY Logan, North don't get broken. Legalized mean this shit smoking. I'm on topic, dropping another episode. The game winner, trade, maybe a field goal. Everybody right now doing the wave. You tuned in, the show called The Man Cave. I see the chat, they always doing their thing. Big views, 85 inch screen. The game's on, you rushing, please. Stay calm, you on the road to chill, to the watch along. The show's on, the host, you know it's S-God. It's no telling, the panel filled with guest stars. You're now rocking with the voice, you know what it is. It's your boy J Boogie. You're now rocking with my man S-God. I support him to the fullest, you heard? My man Mike Blaze. This is Alter Production. What that mean? We about to alter everything that's playing. Tune in. My man S.G.O.D. Support the show. Subscribe, share it. Most